Alright, let's get after it. A major September court ruling has just changed the landscape for gun owners across America. No matter your stance on the Second Amendment, this affects your rights, responsibilities, and safety. The legal ground has shifted. Ignoring it is not an option. We've broken down the ruling, consulted legal experts, and distilled the 10 new rules every gun owner must know. Let's get into it, because what you don't know can and will hurt you. First up, let's talk about universal background checks, a major shift in how firearms are bought and sold in the United States. For years, there's been a loophole that allowed private sales, transactions between individuals who aren't licensed dealers, to happen without any background check at all. This was often called the private sale loophole, and it meant that guns could change hands at gun shows, online, or even between neighbors, with no paperwork and no questions asked. Now that loophole is officially closed. Under the new rules, nearly every firearm transfer, whether it's at a gun show, through an online listing, or just between friends, requires a background check. No more exceptions for private sales. This is a significant change designed to keep firearms out of the hands of people who shouldn't have them, and to make sure every transfer is tracked and documented. Every sale, even those that used to be considered informal or off the books, must now go through a federal firearms licensee, or FFL. That means a licensed dealer is involved in every transaction, and a National Instant Criminal Background Check System, or NICS check, is performed before the firearm can legally change hands. This isn't just a patchwork of state laws anymore. It's a national standard, applying in every state from coast to coast. No matter where you live, the same rules apply, making the process consistent and clear for everyone. Even some transfers between family members may now require a background check, depending on your state's specific regulations. It's important to check your local laws because what used to be a simple gift or inheritance could now involve paperwork and legal steps. The days of a simple handshake deal, where a gun is passed from one person to another with nothing more than a nod and a promise, are over. Now every transfer requires paperwork, a background check, and the involvement of a licensed dealer. This is about accountability and safety. Ignoring these new requirements is a serious federal offense. Both the seller and the buyer can face criminal charges, heavy fines, and even prison time if they try to bypass the system. The consequences are real and significant. So remember, the new rule is simple. Every transfer, every time, must go through a licensed dealer. No exceptions, no shortcuts. This is the new reality for anyone buying, selling, or transferring a firearm in America. Next, let's talk about the new magazine capacity limits, a major change that's set to impact gun owners across the country. For decades, magazines capable of holding 15, 20, or even 30 rounds have been common at ranges and in homes. But now, the rules are changing. The new federal standard restricts the sale, manufacture, and transfer of magazines holding more than 10 rounds. This means that, moving forward, only magazines with a capacity of 10 rounds or fewer will be legal to buy or sell in most situations. Gun stores will be required to pull higher capacity magazines from their shelves, and manufacturers must adapt their production lines. Grandfathering rules vary by state. Some may allow you to keep your existing magazines if you register them, while others could require you to modify them to comply, or even surrender them entirely. It's important to check your local laws, as penalties for non-compliance can be severe. Manufacturers are already shifting to 10-round magazines, and collectors are watching as the value of pre-ban, higher capacity magazines climbs. In some places, these magazines are becoming rare collector's items, fetching high prices on the secondary market. The era of standard capacity magazines is coming to a close. What was once considered normal is now restricted, and the landscape for gun owners is shifting rapidly. It's more important than ever to know your round count. Simply possessing or purchasing a magazine over the new limit could result in felony charges, with serious legal and financial consequences. Ignorance of the law won't be a defense. Rule 2. Check every magazine you own and make sure you're in compliance with the new limits. This includes magazines for rifles, pistols, and even some shotguns. Don't assume your gear is legal, verify it. Don't risk your future or your rights over a few extra rounds. Take the time to review your collection, understand the new laws, and make the necessary changes before the ban takes effect. Now, the expansion of red flag laws is reshaping the landscape of firearm ownership and personal rights. More people, medical professionals, school officials, even former partners, can now petition to temporarily remove your firearms. This means that a broader range of individuals who might have concerns about your behavior or mental state have the authority to initiate this process. A judge can issue an order without you present, and your guns can be seized immediately. This ex parte order is designed to act swiftly in situations deemed potentially dangerous, prioritizing immediate safety over due process. A later hearing determines if you get them back. During this hearing, you have the opportunity to present your case, but the burden of proof often lies with you to demonstrate that you are not a threat. Your words, behavior, and even social media posts matter more than ever. What you say online or in public forums can be scrutinized and used as evidence in these proceedings. Rule 3. The circle of people who can trigger a red flag order has grown. Be mindful. This interconnected web means that more eyes are on you, and more voices can raise concerns. Personal conflicts and public statements now carry real legal risk. Disputes that might have once been considered private matters can now have significant legal implications, affecting your rights and freedoms. Concealed carry just got tougher. States can now require you to prove a specific, demonstrable need for a permit. General self-defense isn't enough. Expect more training, psychological evaluations, and in-depth background checks. Renewal standards may change, and the process will be more subjective and demanding. Rule 4. Carrying is now a privilege you must justify. Document your reasons and prepare for a longer process. If you have a permit, check your state's new requirements. The bar is higher than ever. Let's talk about assault weapons. The court has greenlit a broader, features-based definition. If your semi-automatic firearm has certain features, it could now be banned. Pistol grips, adjustable stocks, flash hiders. These are no longer just accessories but potential liabilities. Millions of popular rifles may now be classified as assault weapons. Grandfathering rules are uncertain. Registration, modification, or surrender may be required. Rule 5. Know every feature on your firearm, not just the model. Check your state's implementation immediately. Safe storage is now the law nationwide. Firearms must be locked in a safe, lockbox, or rendered inoperable unless under your direct control. Failure to secure your guns can lead to criminal charges, not just civil liability. The ready-at-hand principle is legally overruled. Security comes first. Rule 6. Lock up every firearm, every time. Assess your storage now and invest in compliant safes or locks. My home, my rules now includes their rules. The minimum age to buy any firearm is now 21. This ends the old split between handguns and long guns. 18 to 20-year-olds can no longer buy from licensed dealers. Some may still possess previously gifted firearms, but state laws vary. Rule 721 is the new legal age for all purchases. Young adults and parents know the new limits. This is a fundamental shift in who can access firearms. Waiting periods are getting longer. States can now extend mandatory waiting periods for all firearm purchases, 10 days, 14 days, or more. The goal is a cooling-off period to prevent impulsive violence. Immediate self-defense needs are no longer prioritized over public safety. Rule 8. Expect delays. Buying a gun is now a process, not a quick transaction. Plan ahead for hunting, sport, or home defense. Patience is now a legal requirement. Reciprocity for concealed carry permits is under attack. States can refuse to recognize out-of-state permits, creating a confusing patchwork. Your permit may be valid in one state, but a felony in the next. Before you travel, research every state's laws. Apps and websites help, but double-check official sources. Rule 9. Know before you go. Your permit is not a national passport. Mistakes can mean arrest, vehicle seizure, or felony charges. The burden is on you to stay legal across state lines. Don't assume, verify. The penalties for non-compliance are now much harsher. What was once a misdemeanor could now be a felony, costing you your gun rights for life. Illegal transfers, banned magazines, unsafe storage, or reciprocity mistakes can all mean federal charges, prison, and massive fines. Prosecutors are less likely to offer plea deals. Rule 10. Ignorance is not a defense. Know the law or pay the price. The era of warnings is over. Zero tolerance is here. Stay informed or risk everything. 10 new rules are reshaping gun ownership in America. Universal background checks, magazine limits, red flag laws, tougher carry standards. New assault weapon definitions, safe storage, higher age limits, longer waits, fractured reciprocity, and stiffer penalties. Stay informed and compliant. Your rights and responsibilities are changing fast. Don't get caught off guard. Education is your best protection. We'll keep tracking updates and legal challenges, so subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. Be smart, be safe. The conversation isn't over.